Now it's a couple days later, and we're back here. I had another great idea. These are regular bricks that I painted silver. And the reason I painted the top silver right here is it's a thing we do in auto body called blocking. And what blocking does is when you use a flat sanding, okay, and you're going over and sanding the primer down. The primer is mainly talcum powder to take out the low spots. But in order to see the low spots, you can't see it by just sanding them. So by painting these silver, or any color you want really, I'm going to put my mix on my wet mix on here, and I want to see if this will take off any of the paint or show me any low spots. Remember, if this rope takes off anything, then we know it could work. And I know I'm getting closer to the answer. So the only problem, like I said, with this experiment here is that these blocks, or Inca blocks, are way too damn small because they need to be set on top of each other and just stay there. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever been to a monument shop or seen some of the big stones, but when they put those stones down, they don't go anywhere. It takes 3 or 4 guys to pick them up. And if you have so much weight on here, the weight actually acts as a friction plate with my sand. See, it's been a couple of days, right? Okay. We get back to our mountain grown, straight from the source. But what you can see in here, that's the same thing I had a few days ago. It can last forever. All you need is water and sand. And that's what they had. So I'm going to have to find a way to, I'm going to put the sand on here until I get it where I want it. I may even just put, what I may do is do it like this. I may go like this, all right? And then what I'll do is I'll put the sand on here, my sand mix, like this. This is just a really good thing to keep your mind busy while waiting for the elections, and if you got a hobby, you can stay out of trouble. So remember, it's basically like mortar, but it's without the limestone because they didn't have it. The Aztecs had it, but they didn't have it further south. So I'm going to get this where I want it. Like I said, I'm just experimenting. Now remember, once I put this brick on top of this one and I start to saw through, I can use this wet or dry, it doesn't matter. Let me try wet. If this sand takes off any of the paint on the underside or the upper here, then we know the friction is working. Now how well it works, I don't know, but that's why we have experiments. So I'm going to give it a try. Now since we don't know what the weight of the stones needs to be, what I've done here is I put 3 bricks on top, which should probably have a lot more. The bottom should not move, the top should not move. But by sawing this back and forth, okay, from both sides, here and here, remember I said the rope has got to be able to get to the back side. Now some of the rocks, stones, if you'll see the Incans, what they did is they had them up like this. Okay, and if they had another stone here and the inside of the wall right here, they would have had it done it like that. But they could have done it anyway. The weight of the upper stone presses down on the rope. The rope acts as a file right here and cuts across. It could work on any size stone. They had miles of rope, all kinds of rope. They had all kinds of sand, all kinds of water, and they could have done it any time of the year. They wouldn't need gold parabolic mirrors. UFO, a bunch of bullshit that some of these people are claiming. Okay, so I'm going to saw through that, and we'll take a look at the. I'll saw through to the other side, and we'll take the bricks off and see what it looks like. See if there's any any of the paint missing. Now I've taken this rope off, or the bricks on top off. This is the top one that was right here. What I'm going to do is go inside and I'm going to wash this off and take a look and see if the grit had taken off some of the paint. If it takes off some of the paint, then it's taking off matter. And if it does that, then we can look for a pattern. Remember, the Incas had to do this some way. There wasn't one guy running around doing all those millions and millions of tons of stone. It had to be a fairly common way of doing it. And what they would do is, some of the stonemasons were better than others. It's just like in the United States. There are people that can paint graffiti, and there's other people that can paint a Mona Lisa. They do it the same way. Just some people are better than others. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to wipe this off. Now, I haven't done this, but I've done this. We'll take a look, see what we got. Now here's the bottom Inca stone after I washed it off. Remember, these were both perfectly silver. This is the top where it went right here. There's something I found out that I believe that they did too, was also, as the rope saw right here is cutting across, okay, we know that it gets to a certain point and the top stone is going to start to tip this way. So what I believe is they had a little wedge, stone wedge, that they put in here, and then as this went across, they got to, I don't know, about there, okay, and they put another stone wedge in right here. That would hold the brick on top of the stone on top of the stone, and then they went like this all the way across, right? So they're done. So we have this little guy, and he's sitting on top of the two little stone wedges. So then they lift up the top stone, pull the wedges, and put more sand in it, and do the rope trick again. I don't know what kind of rope they used, and I'm not about to go get myself a 300-pound tombstone, because I have faith that I'm completely right in this. With the rope could be wet or not wet. It could have been a different weave, like this weave right here, which has been shown on some of the Incan maidens. She had a rope weave around her belt like this, so we know they had it. And also the fact that the Incans had to have carved these stones one way or another, and there's simply no tools that are available in the record, in the historical record, that show them doing it, that are left behind. None. The reason is because rope is organic. They use rope for their quipus, they use rope for their bridges, they use rope to haul their big rocks, and they use rope to cut their rock. And then rope is organic, rope breaks down. Because in Peru it rains there and rope doesn't last over 500 years. That's why nothing has ever been found. And I know I'm correct, I just know it. So I'm going to keep experimenting with it. This is election day, and it's I don't know what party you are, it really doesn't matter, but I urge everyone to go out and vote. This is a very trying time in America. So I'm going to I already figured out this. I know I've already figured this out. Hell, even Chuck Norris would say I'm right. I know he would. Maybe I'll get to meet him too right after I meet Miss Peru. And that'd be something to tell the grandkids about. Okay. I am going to post this.